everybody.
Hi. Whoa, that light makes me look really like, it makes us look bronze.
Makes us look bronze.
He
like
loves
a bronze.
the light.
Well, I did that because you said
right.
we were probably going to need it.
Yeah, when it's nighttime.
Oh, okay. Well.
We were very bronze. Oh, that's funny.
She says she needed a light in here.
When it's nighttime.
I provided one.
So we have the motion sensor lights in our shed. And I did a live one time on here. Well, on Instagram in bed because our house is like 1,300 square feet and we have 8 people in the house. So yeah. So I was peeling loofah as I was doing the live. So it was getting nighttime, so the light would come on, but I would be talking, so I guess there wouldn't be a lot of movement. So the light would turn off. So my live would be pitch black, and I'd have to wave the loofah like this. I would literally be waving it to get the light to turn back on. It's so funny. Okay, anyway. Old Scout 7s. They're there in DFW Metroplex.
Nice.
That's not far.
That's not. That's like about 45 minutes from us.
Yeah, we drive 30 minutes to church. I mean, and that's in Mesquite. So, yeah, DFW, that's cool.
Yeah, that's not far at all.
Oh, I got to tell my friend we're live. She always asks me to tell her when we're live. We are live on YouTube.
Woohoo.
LOL. Okay.
But anyways, so we just wanted to get on here and just kind of talk about, hey. And kind of talk about things that the Lord has done for us. Honestly, just this past kind of winter / coming into spring.
Yeah, a lot has happened.
A lot has happened. And, you know, I feel like it's a good thing to talk about, you know, the things that God has given to us.
And we want to hear about y'all's, too.
Yeah.
We want to hear about your praise reports.
Yeah,
we want
put
to
them in
hear
the comments for sure.
What's been going on?
You
hey,
know?
Dad.
Hey. So yeah, put them in the comments, you know, and as we go through, we'll read them off and we'll give God the glory for it. Hey everyone.
Listening to y'all while cooking. Awesome. I love how everybody's cooking. Have to get to church down in, look, when you got a church that you love.
Drive is nothing.
The drive is nothing.
Yep.
I don't mind driving. Although I don't be driving, it's usually him, but
She
I don't mind riding.
So
that's funny. Prepped for eternity. Hello.
Oh, cooking and listening.
So something super exciting happened today that we've been kind of just dragging our feet a little bit because a few things have happened that we were unable. My husband went part-time in November.
Yep.
At his full-time job, now part-time. And so he lost his work truck. So we were doing one vehicle for a little bit. And then our friend was so nice and is letting us borrow their truck.
Yep.
So I have not been having to drive him back and forth to work.
Got those potatoes planted.
Nice. Yes. Awesome. We planted ours, yesterday? 2 days ago?
Friday, yeah. Friday.
Wow. Friday, yes. So just recently, to go back, I had a friend, I was at her house, I had just met her, and then the next day she was talking to me about a freezer, and she had a stand freezer for us. She's like, I have a stand freezer, we don't use it anymore because we have a brand new freezer that was bigger, and she's like, you can have it for free. So we were so excited, but we were kind of, because of the whole truck situation, or him losing his truck, we had to wait on getting it, and he was able to get it today. So we have a really nice stand freezer now.
Amen.
If y'all know, what are the other freezers called? They're just like
the chest freezers.
Chest freezers are great, but
you bury everything.
Yeah, and it's like I have to hold my children by their legs to go get the meat that's all the way in the bottom. It's hard. So, but we're so excited.
Yeah,
we're so
God
excited.
has, like I said, God has truly blessed us with that, and I love it because it's really all in God's timing. Like she said, I had the truck at first when they first offered the freezer, and it just seemed like I never had a free moment to go get it, and then the truck was taken from y'all. We have a trailer if you need it for anything. Well, thank you, Blanche. I appreciate it. Eric and Monica are great people.
it really takes like something very, very, very extremely urgent for us to ask for something.
We kind of just make work with what we got.
We make it work until we really, really need help. Yeah.
Because even with the trailer, all we had was our minivan at the time, and I don't have a trailer hitch on it. I didn't buy the towing package with it, or it didn't come with one when I bought it. So, I mean, it was just kind of like, we'll get it when we get it. And thankfully, sometimes we need a good, swift push. And her friend was like, hey, are y'all coming to get this freezer? And we're like, yeah, hopefully we can. And then God just kind of opened the door for us.
We have the cutest bunnies right now.
Oh, man. Like,
oh, my goodness. Oh, man. I'm really tempted to take y'all to the bunnies. But maybe a little later. But
we can't do it later. It'll be dark.
Should we just show them our bunnies?
Can you not just bring the thing here?
You want me to pick up the bunny nest? The big old thing?
I don't know. I just thought maybe that'd be easier.
How much do we love you guys?
Your dad says I want to see, so.
All right.
You know what? We'll take the camera over there.
I think we can do that. Let's just move this.
We need like
take the whole tripod.
2 to 3 does.
Because they're so cute right now.
Well, we'll look at.
And there are Tamooks. The full, well, they're not. Tamooks are mixed breed, but so I say full Tamook composite because it's the straight out of Texas A&M, that one breed that they created.
Yeah.
It's a mix of a bunch of breeds.
Right.
So let's see.
We're just gonna walk to it instead of getting the box.
Nest.
So.
Okay.
We'll see how this goes. You know, take a nice walk around our yard.
Oh, Daisy's getting excited.
By the way, that wood right there is another blessing I'll mention here in a little bit. Don't want to cover everything in the first 10 minutes of our live, you know.
See how milky.
All right, let's do this. I'm going to turn the camera. Let's see if I can flip it.
Okay.
All right.
Hi, Milky Way. Hey, sweet babe. You're here.
All right. Here we go.
Where are they?
So there's Mama. She's my favorite bunny out of all of them. I love her.
That's because Tamooks are also super sweet.
But there they are.
Look at this one. Hold on.
Here we go. Look at that one.
Look at her. Oh my
Such a beautiful coat.
Oh, calm down.
Okay.
You're acting crazy. And then we have adorable little black ones. Yeah, I got
Yeah,
black
we got, look at the solid black.
Oh, well, she does
Well,
have
a little bit of white right there.
And this is all one litter. I really like Tamooks too because you don't ever know what colors you're getting.
Yeah.
Because they're mixed with so much that you get all sorts of colors. Look how pretty.
So we have 6 in this litter.
Yeah, we have 6. Oh, this one's a smaller one.
Oh, that's a little baby.
They are so sweet. They're about 4 days old. And I was so worried because she did not pull a ton of fur at first. So I was stressing out. My daughter even tried to pull her fur for her. And but eventually she got it. It got cold enough to where she was like, all right, let me pull my fur from my
Yeah. And then over here, I'll just show you if I can get a... Oh, he's hiding.
That's the daddy.
This is
Let me see if I can grab him.
the daddy right there.
Come here, buddies. Come here. Can I grab you today?
Oh.
He's fine.
So that's the daddy bunny.
Are you getting nervous?
Oh, he's camera shy.
He's getting nervous. But usually he lets me hold him. And he'll kind of just stay right here. He's huge. He's pretty huge. Tamooks get a very good size. Their grow out size is, man, they get 5 pounds pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Their fur is super soft. And their temperament is really good. They're like our friendliest rabbits.
That was a buck right there. And also Pret for Eternity. I think the most we've had was 11 in one litter.
Yeah, and that was also, but she was a Tamook New Zealand. But the Tamooks that we have, they pop out a lot of babies.
Because they said they had 13.
Yeah,
one of theirs.
That's an awesome. I think we had 13 from Honey one time, but one of them passed away. It was a small one. What is it called?
The runt.
The runt, yeah.
Okay, so excuse us while we get the camera back up. There we go.
There it is. Yeah, like I said, if you can get a Tamook composite rabbit, they're awesome. Like I'm about ready to get rid of our New Zealands.
Well, one of our New Zealand is going away this year.
No.
Honey.
That's not that's a Tamook New Zealand. That's not really the full. We have 2 full New Zealands. We love them, But I just like the Tamuks better.
Yeah. Wait, Honey's mixed?
Yeah, she's a cross.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I forgot.
I
thought she
kind of
was
do
full New
more of
Zealand.
the details. He kind of builds things. So, well, it's just what it is.
She's the knowledge, I'm the muscles.
So yeah, I like our New Zealands, but they take longer to put on weight.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it's just the way the mom and the dad are that we have. They're much more, like, I have to work to like pick them up.
Yeah, very
and, like,
skittish.
They're very, very skittish.
Yeah, they're meat. We raise them for meat rabbits, but we also sell them for pets and other breeders for thing. But yeah, the main thing of them is for meat.
Yes. What we normally do, what I do is when the litter is about 7 weeks, that's when we take them out. I kind of feel out I kind of feel out which rabbits are super sweet and more like into people, as weird as that sounds. And then I kind of distinguish what is going to be a pet and what is going to be meat. I hate to be that way, but some of the rabbits, they'll like walk right up to you and be like, pet me. Like, seriously, some of the Tamuks are so nice. Like, I don't know. Some of them will be more like ready for you to pet them. So those are the ones I'm like, okay, guys, if you want a pet rabbit, these are the sweet ones here. Yeah. And that's what you should get. That you should just go by personality, because if you're getting a mean rabbit and expecting it to be all loving to your children right up the jump, most of the time when people do that, when they're just like, I just want a rabbit, and a breeder just gives them some rabbit that they have left over, I mean, they get upset and they're selling the rabbit like 2 weeks later. Then they're just like, this rabbit is not there. People who want a pet rabbit normally have high expectations. Breeders just like, hey, we want meat. You know, I'm trying to fill my freezer. But a pet owner wants a super furry, sweet, cute rabbit that's gonna let their kids pet it and all that stuff. And I'd feel bad if I gave somebody some rabbit, just regular rabbit, and then they sold it like 2 weeks later or gave it away or rehoming, and I'm like, dude, you know. But it would be the breeder's fault, to be honest. That's how I am. It's I mean, give them if you're gonna give them a rabbit that's not gonna be a pet. Like, if you know this rabbit is over here at you, I mean, it's not going to be friendly.
It also helps, too, that we have the kids that we have, because they love the bunnies. Mm-hmm. I mean, what kids doesn't, right? So when we put them in the tractors that we have, they love getting in there with the bunnies and playing with them, petting them and stuff. So they kind of really help us to see which ones are more welcoming, more loving, more all of that. And they kind of help break them in, you could say, for the pets. So, you know, Prep for Eternity, you said you only had 2 that were friendly out of yours. I mean, thankfully, like she said, the Tamuks, I don't know what it is. The Tamuks seem to be very nice and very docile, I guess is the word.
Out of all of our
well, thank you.
New Zealand's, man, I don't know. She's had quite a few litters, but maybe 3 were like super friendly. Yeah. And when I say super friendly, I guess maybe more friendly. Oh, maybe 3 of the babies were like friendly. The Tamuks, it's like we can have a litter of 6 and maybe 5 of them will be super friendly. And they know when you're coming. It's crazy. It's like I walk there and their little faces are in the cage like, hey, I'm over here. It's so crazy. It's like, but then again, it could be because our children are so hands-on with them too, so that they know. I don't know.
And I think it all has a lot to do with their parents too, because for our New Zealand's, the Cookie and Cream, they're both very skittish. Both of them are. Yeah. But Chocolate, as you can tell, she went right in there, picked him up. Honey, she's kind of the same way.
I don't know.
Milky Way.
Honey is weird.
She's
Chocolate's very friendly.
Loving.
He's very the one that I just tried to pick up, but I think he was nervous because you had that big stick and
then all the
phone in his face. But Chocolate's super friendly. But the one that is a cross, she's a New Zealand Tamuk cross, Honey. She's a little less friendly. She's more like, you can pet me, but don't try to like do anything else. So I don't know. Like I said, I'm sold on the Tamuk composites. And people love to be like, that's a mutt breed, because they were bred in Texas A&M they pretty much created Tamook, which Tamook stands for Texas A&M of Kingsville or something like that. And then the composite part is the actual rabbit breed. So they were created with all sorts of different rabbits. And it was to withstand the heat, have good fur, and grow out big, and then the temperament. So this is kind of like, I don't know, they did it right. I really believe they did it right. I love the rabbits that we have, and I'm literally ready to just be done with our New Zealand whenever that time comes and the opportunity comes where I have another breeder that I really like.
The Labradoodle of bunnies.
Yeah, pretty
Exactly.
much. And man, like I said, they did it right. I love it.
It is great fertilizer, by the way. Rabbit poop is amazing fertilizer. Really good for the soil. Really good for it because I know we've mentioned this many times, but it's a cold fertilizer, so you can place it right there on it. They're legit here in Texas. Exactly, they are. They're great for Texas. But yeah, so if you want to get 1 or 2 for fertilizer, that's great because them things they poop all the time.
Yeah, it's awesome. And make a worm bin too. Hold on, my son is about to talk. Y'all be nice to each other, please, or go inside. So, so what I do, we use the rabbit fertilizer in the winter time. We'll throw it all down and let it get time to, even though it's a cold compost, you can use it whenever, but it also can hold a lot of seeds from their hay and stuff like that because they're also eating hay. So it could fall through the holes and get into the rabbit fertilizer. So I give it time to kind of sit, or I will take it to the worm composting bin. And that's my favorite way.
Yeah.
So start using worms, guys. Start using worms. I like that Carmen is in a coat. And look, I don't play, okay?
She's from New York and I'm from Texas.
Well, I'm not cold right now, but I might have. The other day when we were planting our potatoes, it was full sun. It looked great. It looked great. I mean, I was like, man, it feels good. Everything's good. An hour later, I was freezing. I was like, and then he's over here, let's make a video. A video for who? I was like, he's like, of our potato bin. I'm like, I'm cold. This is so funny. Yeah, we're just different. I like to be warm.
I'm a natural heater, so cold does not bother me that much. So
and all of the children are they're all in t-shirts.
Yeah, a few of them are in shorts. So
I know, I'm just here. I don't want to be cold.
She plans for the future.
It's so funny. Yeah, I do.
She's like, I'm not going to be sitting out here freezing. I'd rather be hot right now and then be warm later.
We go to forest school, and the children, I'm like, guys, it might get cold. It might be cold. Bring your stuff. Bring your stuff. We get there. Mommy, can I use your scarf? Mommy, can I have your jacket? It's so cold all of a sudden. It's windy. I'm like, I told you to bring your stuff.
I had plenty of fur and blubber.
Can you get the banana here?
Yes, come here. Well, stop right there. Ugh.
Yeah, like I'm normally always pretty warm. It takes a lot for me to actually be cold. So that's just my nature, I guess. I don't know. Like I said, being raised in Texas, you think it'd be opposite. You think I would enjoy the heat, which I can tolerate the heat too, but I prefer cold over hot all day.
See, I'm just not happy because I also don't like the heat. So like the summer, if it could be spring and fall forever, I'd be so happy. I cannot stand high heat here. I garden in the early morning or the evening. You will not catch me in the summer outside in the afternoon or anytime after probably like 12 o'clock until like 5 o'clock. I will not go outside unless I absolutely have to take our rabbits their water bottles or anything for the animals.
Yeah.
Other than that, I am not going outside. It's hot. People will try to have play dates with us. Hey, come over 3 o'clock at the park. I'm like, do you not know it's like 100 degrees? I am not going out there. Nope. I'm like, well, you can catch me at 6. Come over.
Yeah. So just back on the blessings thing, you know, us getting that freezer, pretty much it was for free. I can't even say pretty much. All it cost me was time. So went and picked that up, got that going, which is a huge blessing for us. Seeing that we need more room to for our vegetables that we're freezing, and we're trying to get more into preserving and things of that. So we're really blessed with that, and thankful that the Lord had opened that door, not only for the freezer, but like she mentioned earlier too, for the truck that our friend allowed us to borrow and to use. And he even opened it to where he was like, hey man, use it for as long as you want, until you feel like you don't need it anymore, then you can let me know, and I'll be able to get it back. So, I mean, that was a huge blessing. I mean, if anyone knows, allowing someone else to use your vehicle, that's a huge thing. And I'm definitely thankful for that.
Well, you know what? Just in general, when he went part-time, I mean, we've worked really hard to like pay off a lot of debt and all this stuff, because we just want to be out of debt. We want to be out of debt. We want to be self-sufficient. We want to be able, if something went down, if like stores had to close all of a sudden, we'd be able to have our meat. We'd be able to have our eggs. We'd be able to have our garden or things preserved.
Yep.
So when he went part-time, we were literally relying on faith, and we're like, we have just enough to do what we got to do right now. And we're just going to have to cut back on some things. And the Lord has provided the entire time.
Yep.
Like there was a time where we were almost out of wood, and somebody messaged me, a friend messaged me and was like, hey, I have which ended up being like, what, almost a cord?
Almost a full cord. And it was right before that freeze too, like the hard freeze that we got.
Yeah. She was like, I have wood. She's like, that I want to give you guys. My husband has to go pick up more, and he has all this left over, a quarter cord, which ended up being like almost a whole cord.
Yeah.
They just gave us for free. Praise God. We didn't tell them that we needed wood. It was all the Lord.
Yep.
And like the freezer. God is so good. One day we were just talking. We need another freezer. And then I ended up talking to my friend. I was like, man, we're going to get a freezer eventually too.
Yep.
I wasn't asking for a freezer at all.
No.
And she was just like, oh, we have one. You can have it. And I'm like, God, you're so good.
Yeah.
Like, the Lord provides.
And he hears us even when we don't really pray.
Yeah.
When we just like talking about it, we're like, man, we really would enjoy this. It'd be really nice to have this and to be able to do this. And God's like, all right, don't worry, I got you. Like I'm listening, I'm hearing you. I'm your Father in heaven. I know your needs before you even ask them. And it's such a beautiful thing when things happen in that way. And even more so on the flip side, when people allow God to use them in that way. That's a beautiful thing, because these people, they didn't have to give us the freezer. They didn't have to give us the wood. They didn't have to let us borrow the truck. They didn't have to do this, but they allowed God to use them and to be that vessel for the Lord to bless somebody else and see that blessing come back around. So
man, the Lord is so good.
It's always right on time. It's always right when you need it. It's always right. It's even whenever you think you're about to run out. Like we were down to maybe a night or two left on the wood.
The wood, yeah.
And they stocked us, and we still have some left over for next season. That's going to carry us over.
And 2 days after that, the weather was like below 10 degrees or something. It was super cold.
Yeah.
It felt like it was 0.
Yeah. So
it was so cold.
Yeah, we were able to keep our wood burning stove going those 3 or 4 days. That whole weekend, we were able to burn wood all day, the whole time we were there.
And we still have wood. We have a lot of wood.
Yeah.
Praise God. God is so good.
Yep. So definitely blessed on that, and it's wonderful. Absolutely amazing.
Absolutely amazing.
And I mean, like I said, if y'all got anything, drop it in the comments. I mean, we want to hear it. We don't want to just be sitting here and be like,
I know,
talking about us the whole time,
I know.
So, even with meeting Eric and Monica, that was a huge blessing.
Yeah, it was. It's so crazy because that was that's so funny because there was no gardening page like where people were like close by. I'm a part of a Texas gardening page, and I was like, nobody's close by. Like I would love to just be able to swap plants and stuff. And we created a gardening page for our city, and I ended up meeting so many friends on there. And then we were able to exchange seeds, exchange plants, just so many different things. Community is so awesome.
Yes.
Like I love and believe in community.
Yep.
I believe in the village. I believe in fellowship and prayer together. I believe in that.
Yep.
I love that. The church is more than just the building.
Yep.
The church is us. It is community. It is
Yep.
God's people coming together and working together and doing what they're called to do.
Yep.
It's been absolutely amazing, and I'm so thankful. So thankful.
Yeah, even with this, I mean, we've met so many people through YouTube that we've connected with that are moving to this area or have just recently moved to the area that's been here for a while, and we were able to connect with them and share what we know, and then they share with what they know and how things work, and we're able to really help build each other. It just all goes back to the scripture where, in Proverbs, iron sharpeneth iron. I think it speaks a lot in the spiritual sense, but it even speaks in the natural sense too, because you know what? I think it was Eric. They were doing live one time, and he talked about how, you can't do everything. Like, I never intend on growing or having cattle. I have no intention on doing cattle, unless the Lord just blesses me with 20 acres and the cattle are already there. And he's like, here, take care of my cattle. I don't have any intention on doing that. I don't even really have an intention on growing pigs. But
growing pigs, that's how much we...
I think we said that last time,
That's how much we care about pigs.
Growing pigs.
I don't want to grow pig. Look, guys, I turned on the light.
Man, it's like...
I know. It changes the whole color.
But it's so important with that. We got plenty of beef. Bartering is the best. Exactly.
Yes, exactly.
So I never intended on that, and I really don't think the Lord is going to open that unless he does. But we do what we can. We have our garden, we have our chickens, we have our rabbits. And eventually, if the Lord allows us and opens the door, we'll have meat chickens if we ever go that route.
Yeah, we really want ducks. Monica, you hear me? Don't forget about my Muscovies. I really want ducks, really bad. Hi, Vivian. That's my cousin. Hi, she's in Florida.
And I mean, we already got the area picked out for the ducks. We already know what we're going to do and how we're going to do that. Ready to barter with all for bunnies. Now that, amen, come on. I all the way.
I'm so excited. One of the biggest reasons why we wanted the freezer. What's up, Hollis?
Can we have a ball in here?
Yes, y'all can have one ball.
The biggest reason why we wanted
the Muscovies.
a stand freezer is because for our rabbits, we don't have them inside an area like this. They're outside, they're in full shade, they're protected, but they still get hot. I mean, they're in an area where it's hot. So we got fans for them, but we also freeze water bottles, like the 2 liters or like the juice ones, I think it's like 2 quarts of water for them every summer. Every day we put the waters out, and sometimes twice a day we'll put frozen ice, really ice, out for them. And it was taking up a lot of space in our freezer. So we're like, you know what? If we get a stand freezer, that can be for our food, for the extras. And then the chest can be for our frozen water bottles for our rabbits. Because I also, I don't like seeing my rabbits looking so sad and they're like, oh, it's so hot. I don't like that.
We've had people, my uncle, he raised rabbits when he was little, and he laughs at us all the time about the way we have our setup because we spoil our rabbits. I mean, to be honest. Can't have enough chickens to raise meat birds. But we built, I mean, the hutch, y'all seen it in the video. The hutch is, and I plan on doing another video on the hutch, by the way. It's coming up when I get to it. But our hutch is 3 foot by 3 foot by 3 foot. It's a perfect 3 foot square hutch. So they have a lot of room and a lot of space to move around, jump around and everything. And that's something we made up in our minds was when quail, my uncle did quail. He didn't like it too much, but
they were cute though. Well, it's the eggs. I mean, they had all these little eggs, and they didn't want to crack them all the time with the little cracker. But anyway, like he was saying,
we made up in our minds if we get animals and the animals we're getting, we're going to take care of them. We're not going to just treat them like whatever.
We try to do the best we can.
We do.
We just try to do the best we can. We're not perfect. We needed a freezer for their water bottles. So we have one now, the chest one, and now we're going to have our food in the bigger one, and I'm so excited. Quail are absolutely amazing health-wise for you. They have so much nutrition that it's redonkulous.
So you can only eat, what, 1 quail egg a day or something like that?
I don't know if that's fact or not, but...
I've heard that.
Yeah. He hears a lot. But we have to fact check that.
If I'm wrong, let me know. Fact check it.
But now you got me off.
Sorry, quail.
But yes, Israelites were fed with quail for a reason. And the eggs are really nutritious, but the eggs are small and you have to crack them with a special cracker. And we have a lot of people in our household. And let's just give an example. I use 11 eggs for breakfast for everybody. And
not counting me.
Not counting him. So just imagine how many quail eggs I would have to. So that's another reason why we want ducks.
Yeah.
That's a game changer for me. The eggs are bigger, and I just want ducks.
I told her if we get emus, would be good.
Yeah, no emus.
Just get an emu egg.
No emus.
One emu will feed 6 people.
But if it was just us two, maybe quail. But we just have too many people. Too many people. There's no way. I'm not cracking all those little eggs.
Yeah.
But yeah, quail for me. They're not that big though. Well, I don't know. Maybe it's the breed that his uncle had. They're small.
Yeah.
I don't know. How big do they get? Do any of you know a breed that gets big?
Good for baking. Yes, that's what I've heard.
I heard they're great for baking. Yeah, I heard that too.
Yeah, I don't know. Like quail to me, I see a bird like this size.
We saw small one. I mean, yeah, I don't know. Are y'all blessed with? Yeah. We have right now. Well, we had 10. But then,
wait.
Children. Oh, she said chickens.
No, how many children are y'all blessed with?
I thought you said chickens. Oh.
10.
I thought she said chickens. I don't know. This thing goes up so fast. I don't know why I'm not just looking at the comments on my phone. But we have 4 children, 2 full-time. Our other two come for the summers and holidays.
Yeah.
So we have 4 between us 2.
Yep.
And then I raised 3 other children from a friend of ours. So
Yep.
we've been raising them for a year and a month.
No, right at a year.
Yeah, for a year now. They've been living with us and we've been raising them. So we have a total of 7 when our other 2 girls are here. But right now we have 5.
Yep.
So, but 3 boys. So that makes a difference food-wise.
Correct.
So yeah.
But yeah, the quail. Yeah, I would take a lot of quail eggs to even try to feed us. And like she said, that's why we don't do it. We haven't. It's just not beneficial for us right now.
Not at the moment. I'm really big. Like, we don't have a huge space. So because we don't have a huge space, we're very, very careful with what we're putting in our space.
Yeah.
So the chickens have been very beneficial for eggs. The ducks, we have a space already ready for the ducks whenever we get them.
Tear down a swing set.
Yeah, we're getting rid of the swing set. And the ducks will be beneficial for eggs, and we plan on eating the ducks too. I just got to look up more recipes, etc. Whenever we get some ducks for meat or whatever. We have a lot of plans for what we have in our yard.
Yeah.
I consider ourselves more of a backyard homestead because we are under an acre. We're like half an acre.
Yeah.
A little under. So
and our backyard is like a quarter of an acre. So.
We're being very careful with what we put in here, what is beneficial, what is not. Like, I'm even picky with the plants that we choose.
Yeah.
I'm not going to spend 4 months babying a plant when it's only giving me a little bit of produce. Like, I really research the varieties that we grow. If I'm going to grow tomatoes, I'm going to grow a variety that's going to withstand the Texas heat. If we're going to grow cucumber, I'm going to grow a variety that I can get and harvest from longer than the springtime that we have. It's just, we're very, very, we're trying to be good stewards. We're not perfect. We're trying to be good stewards with what God has given us right now. I believe totally that the Lord will bless us with more eventually. Yep. But with what we have now, we are going to use every part of the yard wisely.
And
wisely.
Strategically.
That's a very good word.
Yes.
Strategically.
Because, like she said, I don't want to put time and resources into building a quail cage or something like that, and then do that and then allow the quail to not be beneficial enough for us. And then we put a lot of time and effort into it when we know we could do ducks.
Yes.
And ducks would be very beneficial for us because, like she said, not only eggs, but also the meat. which is another reason why we're looking at doing the meat chickens, because it would be beneficial for us. Shampoo ginger comes into your plan for...
Yes, the shampoo, 100% shampoo. The shampoo ginger, I am so ridiculously excited about. I have really curly hair, and honestly, I don't use too much shampoo, but I'm so excited to use that for that because people actually use it for shampoo. And if I can grow shampoo, I mean, come on. Hello. That's awesome to me. And yes, we save seeds. Yes, we save seeds. But I can't save tomato seeds because I do buy the hybrid variety tomatoes, the ones that withstand our heat.
Yeah.
But all of the other plants, I can save seeds. When you try to save seeds for hybrids, you're not guaranteed what you're going to get. You don't know what you're getting. So it's a waste of time, but I did stock up on tomato seeds. Yeah. And they, as long as they're stored properly, it'll work for you.
Yep. Someone... You can grow a ton of green beans. Actually, we have that. I have a cattle panel tunnel that is like, as soon as you walk into our garden, there's a big tunnel there, and that's what we grow our long beans on, which is a variety of green beans that we use. Again, is strategic because they get like this long. So we get more beans out of one thing. And we're able to do that. So it's again, we try to be smart about our space. We try to trellis up as much as we can with certain things. And again,
we stopped growing bush beans.
Yeah.
And the reason why we stopped growing bush beans is because, like I said, the space that we have. And you get more beans per plant when you grow pole beans. It's just a matter of getting your trellis together. Also, Vivian, shampoo ginger. Google that. On Etsy, they have the roots for shampoo ginger, and they'll grow amazing in Florida because they're a tropical plant, and they are a perennial. So as long as you have the good weather for them, they'll be a perennial and they'll grow for you. Here, we have just enough heat for them to last until the first frost.
Yeah.
So what we're going to have to do is right before the frost, we're going to have to dig up their roots and then put them inside and then replant them in the springtime.
Thanks for coming by.
Bye, guys.
But yeah, it's, again, we try to, some things we do experimental-wise because we think it'll be beneficial. So we're going to at least try it for one season. But with plants, it's easy because if it doesn't work, we just don't plant it.
Rip it out.
As far as like livestock or animals, is a little more difficult with that.
There have been many times I've planted something and realized it is just not going to work for us, and I have ripped it out and I have recomposted it and planted something else. Don't be afraid to just fail at certain things or just realize that something is not good for your area or good for your family. If you are growing a vegetable and it starts flowering and you get the vegetable and you taste it and you don't like it or your family doesn't like it, don't be afraid to rip that out. Rip that out, cut up the plant, put it in your compost, and plant something else.
Yep.
Do not waste your time and your soil's energy and all your compost on something that's not working for you.
Yep.
There's so many varieties right now. There's so many varieties that it's just not worth it. It's not worth just growing something you don't like or doesn't work or takes up too much space.
Looked into green stalk planters.
Yeah, those are pretty cool. If we were to get a green stalk planter, it would be on the porch probably, and it would be more like for our lettuces and spinaches and stuff, because actually lettuce takes up a lot of space.
Yeah.
My favorite things to grow right now, well, if I had to choose out of the garden, it's probably cucumbers and squash. And both of those plants have to vine.
Yeah.
So they grow up our trellis. So it's funny because our favorite plants, they grow on a trellis. So they don't take too much space. But lettuces and things like that, you need a good soil. You need to spread them out. You need to thin them. They need their space to actually grow. But so I'd probably do those in the green stalk. All you do is cut and go, cut and go. That's what I love about greens. Most greens are that way. You cut them and they grow back.
Yeah.
I love that. We're growing comfrey this year. And we're going with the comfrey Bocking 14 variety. Do the Bocking 14 or the Bocking 4 because they're not invasive.
Yeah.
So usually comfrey, it lets off seeds and then they'll grow everywhere and their root system is insanity. So you don't want it to be invasive if you're in a small space. So Bocking 14 or Bocking 4 is the best variety for you. And you can use Comfrey for your animal feed. You can use it for you to eat. You can use it to make fertilizer. The nutrition in a comfrey plant is seriously out of this world. You have to Google it. You have to look it up. And we're gonna make a video on how they do where we are. I'm super excited. We've never grown it before, but we've watched enough videos on comfrey to know that that is something we absolutely need, and that's something that our animals will benefit from.
And Leah, long beans are amazing. We harvest a lot, but man, our kids eat those things so fast. Like anytime they come in the garden, they're like, "Can we have long beans?" And they just grab them off the vine, be eating on them. Even I do when I go in the garden. If I see a long bean that's there and it's ready, I'll pull it right off and I'll just eat it like while walking around the garden.
Prepped for Eternity Homestead, have you ever grown Armenian cucumbers? Okay, so what Armenian cucumbers is, if you've never grown it, it's a melon. But they look just like a cucumber, they taste just like a cucumber, but they get huge. So you have to pick them when they're about this size, which I've learned the hard way, or if they're still thin and they get big. So don't pick them before they get really thick.
Yeah.
Oh my word. Okay. It's one of the littles. But he's checking on her. The Armenian cucumbers, they grow really big and they grow a lot. So I don't think I could probably do that in the green stalk planter because their leaves are huge. Like, they're a huge plant. If you wanted to look a little bit about the Armenian cucumbers, I don't know if we have a video on just the cucumber, but if you look at some of our past videos of like summer in Texas heat or something like that, there's some stuff on it. You definitely should look into it. Armenian cucumbers are pretty, I mean, they're awesome. I won't go to another variety. The reason why I started growing them is because they work for this weather. So we get them all summer long, and I've tried pickling them, and they pickle just fine, just like a normal cucumber. They're really good. Oh. Let me see. I'm trying to read the chat, guys. What are your kids' favorite vegetable? They love the long beans.
Yep.
They pick them, like anytime they're hanging off of the trellis, they pick them. They love them. I mean, they'll eat them raw. We love long beans raw.
Yeah.
They all do. Not one of them doesn't like it. They actually prefer it raw than cooked.
Yep.
So we just let them do that. We're not really hard on them if they want to eat vegetables from the garden.
Yep.
I mean, I encourage that. I want them to be able to go out there and be like, wow, this is what we grew and this is delicious and I'm going to eat this. It's good for me.
Yep.
So we encourage that 100%, especially our son. Our son Hollis loves veggies. So he is super excited when he goes out there. I'm excited for it to get going.
But yeah, vegetables we definitely don't. I mean, even when we're growing okra, I'll do it. I'll grab the okra and just snap it off and just eat it raw right there.
Oh yeah, those are good.
Our kids would do that too if they like okra. Some of them don't like okra. They don't like the sliminess of it.
I love raw okra.
But the ones who do, they'll snap it off the plant, walk around, eat it. Even the asparagus. When we had some asparagus shoots, I cut it and just eat it while I'm in the garden.
Asparagus tastes like, I don't know. Our asparagus was tasting like, I don't know, like a sweet pea. It was so weird.
It was delicious.
Good though. It was really good.
Yeah,
glad
very
to
delicious.
catch a live. Wow. Hi. Awesome. I'm glad you caught the live. We're talking about veggies that we're planting.
and other things. I keep going back to the blessings thing, but another blessing we had is my mom. She she gets chickens as well, and every year, or at least last 2 years, every time she's got new chicks, she's asked us if we wanted some, and then she'll buy enough for both of us. And then she'll raise them up because we don't have the space to do that here. So she'll raise them up and everything.
We do.
But we just don't have the setup.
We're trying not to spend so much money on so much right now.
Yeah.
Like, we're not the people that is going to put forth all this money and just build everything up at one time. We have to wait. We slowly progress. We slowly get things done.
Yeah.
So will we eventually raise up chicks? Maybe one day.
Yeah.
But right now, his mom has been awesome. And she raises them up, and then she's like, Or she'll ask us, what kind of chicks
Yep.
do you want? And we'll tell her the chickens, and she'll raise them up, and she'll bring them to us. She lives about 2 hours away from us, so that's a huge blessing.
Yeah. Yeah. Was
You may like the Moringa cucumber. They're small cukes that kids love, but are self-pollinating. So
yeah, frugal is a positive thing. We, like she said, with me being part-time now and working on that, we've really learned how to be frugal. We've really learned how to cut back on a lot, cut our debt down completely. And our biggest bill, of course, is our home mortgage, which that's normal for anybody. But other than that, we're pretty good with that and trying not to overextend. We're all in the mindset of live within our means. Actually,
Right.
we're all about living below our means.
Yeah.
Because if we live below our means, that means we're doing well. We're able to move into that and able to do what we need to do. And, you know, the Lord, I feel like, is really going to bless that as he has. I mean, he's blessed us greatly with all of these things. And I don't think I've heard of the Moringa cucumber.
I haven't either. We're going to have to look into that.
And yes, you can eat the flowers on the okra
Their
plant.
flowers are so pretty. You're so right.
Yeah.
And yes, when I heard they were a relative to hibiscus, I was shocked. I'm
Yeah.
actually going to try to grow hibiscus this year. Wow, I forgot the variety, but the little thing, the medicinal ones. Oh my word! I'll get it. I'll get it. Oh,
The problem is the
man.
government makes their own means, so they can't ever
Yeah.
live within it. They just keep extending it and making it larger.
Oh, I saw a recipe where you could stuff the okra flower.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I wanted to do that, but then again, we love the okra so much. We just didn't have. We had 2 plants last year.
Yeah.
Although they produced like crazy.
Yeah.
Maybe if we plant some more this year, we can stuff them. Hi, Kiana. That's
Hey,
our
hey.
friend.
Woohoo!
Y'all are all our friends, but you know.
Another thing you can make with okra. I tried. I have a video of it called Okra Tea.
Yes, you can make okra. Well, it's supposed to be a coffee substitute. It has amazing nutrition, but it's not very good.
No,
But
it's a lot of work.
we tried okra tea with their seeds. And
I
yeah,
was bored one Saturday.
it wasn't very good. But if you were in a dire situation, you
A
could do
dire
it.
situation, you wouldn't have an oven to bake it with. You wouldn't have water to heat it with. You wouldn't have a grinder to grind okra pickles. Yes, pickled okra is delicious, by
His
the way.
mom makes pickled okra.
What kind of
She's
okra
the
did you
canning
have?
queen. She's gonna have to be teaching me how.
She pickles onions. She pickles
She
garlic,
pickled onions, and she gave us some pickled onions, and I was I was like, what in the world is this? But then I tried it, and it was so good. Now I eat it on random stuff.
solar heat. Yes, I'm working. I've done a lot. Well, not a lot, but I'm working on doing stuff with solar.
Yeah, we have solar panels on our house.
Yeah, and I have our water system, rain harvesting system, which I'm going to do a video on here shortly because the freeze busted all the pipes on it, so I have to repipe our whole rain harvesting system. But I'm going to do a video on that, and the pump on that is solar charged. So I've dabbled a little bit in solar things because I think it is very important and a great means of stuff.
Come on a video with y'all. She's so camera shy.
Pickled the quail eggs
She's
too.
so camera shy.
She actually has been on a video with us.
Yes, you see her back.
If you go and watch I think part 2 of the
Oh, I didn't know okra
The
was good
wood-burning
for the
stove.
hair. Kiana said okra is good for the hair.
nice.
So my friend Hannah Pierre, aka Kiana, she makes her own almond milk and all this different stuff. She made maple. I didn't tell you. She made like maple syrup, but it was powdered like a sugar. Like she turned it into sugar. She dehydrated it, made it or something like that. I was blown away. So I'm gonna try to get her hands in a video because she makes all sorts of yummy stuff. And I think that's what we're gonna do this year too. We're gonna try to go to different farms, different homesteads, different people who are doing more in the kitchen.
Yeah.
And making things stretch and preserving. And we're gonna try to record some of the things we're doing because we don't know everything.
Yep.
Obviously, I'm still learning, especially preserving. We do a lot of vacuum sealing and stuff, but I'm super excited to learn from others. God has been putting a lot of people in our circle who they do so many different things that we don't do. So I'm just learning. We're all just learning. And it's so exciting. I love that.
Yeah. So that's, I love it. And we're definitely going to be talking to my mom about doing some canning videos with us and for us. Because we want to learn how to do all these things. And we've dabbled a little bit in it, but obviously, moringa.
We have moringa trees.
This is our first season to grow moringa. We planted them last year. Woo! There's
our
another
solar light.
So we planted them last year. We actually have a video on that, and I keep putting plugs in here, but we have a video on us planting the moringa tree, and then we're going to be doing a video this year to see how well they grow. How they're going to be doing. So I'm really excited about the moringa tree.
Yeah.
Because I know that they do a lot. You're going to see that light coming on and off.
I know.
So I'm excited to see what they do because they have great benefits, man. Like I was blown away by the benefits the moringa tree has, and just by eating the leaves, like all the stuff that comes with that.
And once we harvest our moringa, I'm going to be making powders. I think that's my biggest thing this year. I'm going to make a lot of vegetable powders and medicinal powders. I'm super excited to do that.
The almond butter. How to make it was buying.
What snack? I don't think we have a snack, but yes, you can find something. Can you bring me a piece of bread?
But yeah, it's learning how to do things like that. Because same with us, like we buy a lot of things. And we're like, man, if we can find out water purification. Yes, I've looked into water purification as well.
We haven't got it set up yet.
I'm a licensed journeyman plumber, so I know how to do a lot of that stuff. I just have to buy the filters and everything I need to be able to plumb it in and to do that. That's on my list as well. So we are definitely for that. We would love to see videos of y'all together sharing how to do new things like that. Mm-hmm. So yeah, there's a lot on our board that we want to do and need to get to, but with that, of course, like I said, like we've been saying, comes with money.
Yeah, and we would love to dive head on and do absolutely everything and pop out videos.
Oh, the moringa, you mean. Wait, moringa does water purification?
The moringa, wait, what? Hold on. Water purification too. Oh, moringa purifies water. Is that what you're saying?
If so, that's awesome.
That is awesome. I heard they have that long root that goes all the way down to the water part, and then so you don't have to water them. They kind of take the water from there.
Oh, you're the best, Nelly.
Thank you.
I'm gonna have to look into the water purification thing, because that's interesting. Very interesting. Sorry,
That's really cool.
I thought you meant actual like purifying your own water and stuff. I was all for it.
Right. Me too. There's so many things you learn on YouTube too. I mean, I feel like you can learn anything on YouTube. Follow some good people who know what they're talking about. You can tell when somebody knows what they're talking about and when they don't know what they're talking about. And just, wing it. Ask them questions and leave comments and see what they're doing, what works and what doesn't. Follow their pages. Yep. There's so much knowledge we've gained just from following people on here. It's a blessing.
But there's enough for everyone. Oh. What are your favorite homesteaders to follow?
Of course. Let me go look. I forgot their names. Hold on. Man.
But yeah, I've looked into a lot of this stuff, and
I'll have to write you a list. I have a list that we watch for certain things.
Yes.
Certain people are amazing for canning. Certain people are amazing for couponing. Certain people are amazing at making their own butters and stuff.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Water purification system for the home. We have plans for that. Because I want to hook it up to our rain harvesting system.
Daddy.
Yes, sir.
Ezra picked a movie.
No.
Let me see. No.
No.
Ezra picked.
Okay. No.
Go. You know what
the same
y'all can
stuff
watch.
that we're allowed. That is allowed.
So go in. Go, buddy.
He's going.
Oh, sorry.
This is dark.
But yeah, because like I said, we have a rain harvesting system, and I'm actually
You heard Hollis. You just knew that was him.
And we're gonna be adding, I'm gonna be adding a third tank to it, which is another video I have coming up.
Yes, be careful who you watch. That's right. Like I said,
Correct.
If you're, we're Holy Ghost filled. We know the Lord. We have some discernment with who is on here and who knows what they're talking about, who's going to get you in trouble.
Yeah.
Also, don't be afraid to look up some of your city ordinances for certain things, because the last thing you need is to do some big project, fork out like $10,000 on something, for the city to come up knocking on your door and telling you,
No.
where's your permit,
That wouldn't be
or
fair.
that you're not allowed to do something. Be very wise with what you're doing.
He hasn't got anything yet or something.
So is there not enough yogurt for everyone?
Yeah, they don't have one.
Then you can't have the yogurt.
There's no more yogurts?
I don't want one, but there's 4 of them, so they can all have them. I don't want one.
Okay, so why are you, what do y'all mean? What are you talking about?
But no, you can't have that potato.
Okay. But Dad,
Oh, they're begging for a baked potato.
Dad, can we have a milk?
Yes. Because y'all haven't had milk today.
I think they did.
I don't remember. I wasn't
They
here,
love
so.
to ask us for things when we're on live stream. That's when they think that they're going to get the yeses. It's funny.
But so the water purification, I've watched videos of it. There was one gentleman that I watched years ago. He hasn't posted a new video in a long time, so I think he just did it for that. But I watched him, and it was a really good system. I think it was like a 5 or 6 filter system, and then I watched another one where you can add like a UV light to the end of it. To add that final thing of purification. I'm going to wave to turn it on. The final thing of purification to where it's actually drinkable water.
Yeah.
So that's a huge thing that I want to do. It's exciting to me because I want to be able to do that. Hey, what's up?
What's up? How are
Daz?
you doing?
I think it's the first time you've been on one of our lives.
I know. He's in Australia, so
Correct.
I totally get it. His time is completely different than ours. So the thing, buffering here.
Oh, no.
Wait, hold
Did
on.
I leave it?
Get a good video, especially the nighttime.
I
'cause
forget to turn the
everybody's-
Wi-Fi off.
Yeah, the Wi-Fi. Yeah.
But hey, Daz and
Are
Life
we
with Linda
still
and Chuck.
buffering, or
Are
are
we
we
good?
kind of clear? I know we can't get perfect sometimes, but
Just let us know.
so we've also looked into things like Berkey, Berkey. It's a water filtration system. I know a lot of our friends have a Berkey, or they have kind of like not an off-brand, but like pretty much another system, which is awesome. But it's just it would be awesome if we can get something built in, something that we don't have to keep filling up. I mean, it's just, if we're going to pay the money for something like that, if we have time, we can try to do something else that's more beneficial. Berkey is awesome, but I really don't feel like filling that thing up all the time. If we're able to avoid that, I will. Not saying a Berkey's wrong, because I would definitely buy one, but I don't want to have to fill it up. And we're also limited space in our house.
Yep.
We need all the counter space that we can possibly get.
Yep.
And not only that, like, we just don't have an extra space to just hold
Bye.
a big Berkey
Thank you for
thing
stopping by.
with the stand and stuff. We just don't have that space. So water filtration is something we really, really, really want to go with.
Yeah. It's a home system would be great because the system I'm looking at would hold up to 1,000 gallons of water, which, like she said, our city ordinance, that's where our cutoff is 1,000 gallons. I can't harvest any more than that. So I'm staying within the limits of that, so they can't come in here and do it.
Yeah.
But I definitely have the mindset. I just got to get to it.
Do we have to have this for a drink? For
Yeah.
a snack?
No,
Yes.
it's not. Is
Well-
that a snack?
I don't know.
No, it's not.
Oh, you're telling us what it is, buddy? Okay.
Okay, what snack are you planning on having?
I don't know.
Okay, we'll just go have a
The same
snack.
thing that Ezra.
Okay. What did
What
Ezra
is
have?
he? What does Ezra have?
A peanut butter with and a wrap.
Okay.
Okay, so a
Go ahead
tortilla
and
and
have
peanut
that.
butter. That's fine.
Yep. Down at our farm, the water was
Who's gonna
high.
get it ready?
Arsenic levels.
Who's gonna get
I gotta
ready?
try and filter that stuff out.
Man, it is crazy. The water is
Yeah.
getting worse and worse
'Kay, go,
and
buddy.
worse. My friend, she lives about, I don't know, like 15 minutes away, Heartland.
Yeah.
Her water, you wash your hands in her water and your hands are red.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
She obviously doesn't drink that or anything, but they take showers in that.
Yeah.
And she's looking at a filtration system as well.
Yeah,
But-
and I think that's where that UV light would come into play with help. But you can buy home systems. Unfortunately, a lot of them are very expensive for your whole home, for your whole house. like I said, me being a plumber, I've looked into them for our home, but that's a lot of work and a lot of money you got to put into it, unless you can just do it yourself. But even with that, it takes a lot. That's why we want to do an outside source one, to be able to filter out everything we need and to clean it up.
If we knew our water was that bad, that'd probably be number one on our list. To be honest, I don't play around with water. Like, do not play around with water. We need water for everything. So make sure if you're having serious issues with your water that that's on top of your list, that you're trying to save up to do whatever you've got to do to avoid that. If you need 5 Berkeys for the moment, get 5 Berkeys. I mean, it's water. It's water. That's important.
It is. And Daz, no. From what I can tell, they don't glow in the dark, thankfully.
No, they don't.
I'm thankful for that. But yeah, it is like the water is very important for us. It's vital for us.
Yeah.
And we've got to make sure, plan on the rainwater. But in the meantime.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, you can just do what you got to do. There are other filters you can buy for your sinks. There's filters you can buy you can even buy filters for your shower head. There's other smaller filters that you can buy.
That's the first filter we're doing, is for the rainwater system.
Yeah.
I mean, that's going to be our first filter.
Yeah. Because it's going to help not only our gardening too, because it's going to be filtered water going into the garden and help, but also, like I said, it's backup too, so we can actually drink that water and be okay with it.
I'm so happy with our rainwater system. I mean, we're going to add another tote. How much is it that we have right now?
With the IBC?
How much water do we have? I know you said it. I don't remember.
I think we're at 600, almost 700.
Okay, yeah. So we
gallons.
we get 700 gallons of water, but we're also in Texas too, so we heavily mulch, so that helps a lot too.
Yeah.
We lasted until probably the end of July last year with our tanks of rainwater system for our garden, and let me tell you what, as soon as we ran out of rainwater, and I started using the hose water, some of our plants started yellowing. It's like they got used to the rainwater and that good water, and then they started yellowing after I started using the hose water. That right there was confirmation enough for me that we have another tote that we're going to add on to it, and that is the goal this year. We are going to try to go the entire summer with just rainwater that we've collected from like March and April, because April's our big month for rain.
Correct.
So I am praying that water lasts. God, extend it, Lord. Please, Jesus, extend it. Because I saw the difference between the rainwater and the hose water on our plants. They were struggling when they started getting that hose water. That it's terrible. And then it makes you really think, because you're like, my family drinks, we cook with this. We do this stuff. I know you boil it. Well, sometimes I'm even guilty. I do not boil it for like 20 minutes to make sure, it gets all out. But it's crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah, it is. It's a lot of chlorine, unfortunately. Hey, Sister Ball. It's a lot of chlorine in the water, because they use chlorine to clean the city water. They'll even tell you, they'll send notices out and say, hey, we're doing water cleaning today, so make sure you're careful with your water. Don't drink the tap water, because all this chlorine and stuff's going to be in it. So yes, rainwater is so important. That's why I am putting that third tote on. And like I said, I'm hoping to do it this week, because we're supposed to get rain come Tuesday or Wednesday. I want to try to get it done this week if I can, so that video will be getting posted on there, so that way y'all can see how I have it set up and how I have it working.
We plan on really taking care of our rain barrels this year, because our rain totes, like, we're going to try to do a covering over them as well. We have our actual totes covered in black plastic. Is it black plastic?
Yeah.
Because you want to also keep the algae out.
Correct.
So sun, clear tote, algae. And if you've done that mistake before, it is terrible to have to clean those totes. Absolutely terrible.
Yep.
And so we have not had any issues with putting the black plastic over our totes. We have not had algae. So I'm very, very thankful that we got that right the first time. So I encourage you, if you're planning on upgrading your barrel system, make sure you're getting a colored barrel, or that's something that's keeping the UVs out, or you put covering over your rain barrels, because that's so important. Because I mean, if you don't, you're giving that algae to your plants, and I mean, you know, it's just what it is, guys. And
make sure when you get them to, they're from they've been cleaned. Because unfortunately, IBC totes are used for like chemicals and things like that. So the ones that we bought, I knew the buyer or the seller of them. I spoke to him directly, and he was the ones that cleaned the IBC totes with water, hot water, and he made sure that they were clean, everything. Even me, I rinsed them out a few times just to be
in case,
just to be safe.
Know the chemicals that were in those totes before you buy them. He was very honest with us. He was like, hey, we used these for what, shampoo or something like that? Yeah, it was
shampoo, hair products, and stuff.
He let us know the exact machines that they used to clean them. He was awesome. He let us know how they were cleaned, how sterile they are, and we still clean. After he told us that they are spick and span, we still went ahead and cleaned them multiple times just to make sure, because you don't want all that extra in there. And, you know, shampoo is, I mean, it's a soap, but some of those totes carry a lot of chemicals. So make sure, I wouldn't risk it. I would ask. And all these so many companies use IBC totes that are safer. It's just, if you have to drive 40 minutes to pick up something that is worth it, that hasn't been carrying severe chemicals, do it. Just do it.
Because that's what I did.
It's worth it.
He was like 30, 45 minutes away. I drove to go pick him up. But definitely worth it.
I know people who use the blue barrels.
Yeah, blue barrels.
Yeah, they use the blue barrels. Their rainwater is just fine. They have a mesh system on top. That's another thing. Make sure you have a mesh system on top, like where you put the piping, because you don't want anything getting in there. You don't want mosquitoes going into your rainwater and adding all these eggs and stuff. You know, when you do something like us, like I got it from him. He's like, when he does something, he goes all out, and he makes sure that he researches it 500 times. So we know that we are doing this properly, and we are not having to spend money down the line and just wasting money, having to do it all over again.
If you don't do it right the first time,
it's hard.
You're going to pay for it later.
Yeah, it's exhausting. Do it right the first time. You know, it's just, and there's so many people. Like I said, this community is awesome. YouTube is awesome because you can ask questions. You have the ability to comment or go into the description of certain pages, channels. They may have an email account. Email them, ask them questions. Don't be afraid to reach out, because that's why they're here, right? These channels are not just for them, well, not just for everybody to watch their progress, but they're also putting info out there so other people can learn from their mistakes, or the things like we made plant shelves on one of our videos. It's on my windowsill, all the plant shelves. Great video. The only thing that happened is my son decided to climb on the plant shelves to get the cat. And my son was a little heavy, and the plant shelf just fell down. So what did we do? And we just added another board on top, and then we were able to comment on there, hey, we added another board on top, just in case. Not everyone is going to have a child that's going to climb up their plant shelf, but some might, you know, like us. You know, I mean, you learn as you go, and YouTube is for that. Don't be afraid to ask people for help.
Not at all. Like, I'll ask questions all the time on videos that I see. If I don't understand it, I'll definitely be like, hey, how did you do this? Or what is the purpose of this? Or why did you do it this way versus another way? You know, and that's another thing. You may know a better way of doing something.
Right.
And you may see us do something and be like, hey, have you tried it this way?
We gotten the best advice on our videos. Like, people will comment and they'll be like, hey, why didn't you try this? Or you should try this. And I'm like, that's a great idea. And next time, we'll try that if we're doing it again. I mean, we're all learning, right? Nobody is perfect. Nobody knows like fully what they're doing. My friend, I was talking to my friend Kiana, who is on the live. She's up most nights looking up her garden stuff and checking things out, making sure she does it right. And, you know, that's kind of when I'm up too, looking up things and seeing if I'm doing it right. You know, it's just research what you want to do and just try your best. Do your best.
Yeah.
She's talking to Kiana.
You get constructive. It is great. I'm thankful for constructive feedback. I really am, because at the end of the day, I don't know everything. Sorry if we froze. My phone put up a notification. Yeah, constructive feedback is so important. Some people, they don't like it, but personally me, I do, because I will willingly say I don't know everything. I will willingly say this is how I know to do it. So if someone's like, hey, you know what, I've done this before. I figured out this method actually works better than that. I'm like, hey, awesome. Thank you so much. Let's try it that way.
We're like that in all aspects of our life, like even spiritually.
Yeah.
I'm not afraid to talk doctrine. I'm not afraid to talk the Bible. Like if you see me slip in church, let me know. Let me know, sister, brother. Let me know if I'm slipping. Let me know if I have a bad attitude, if I'm bearing bad fruit.
Yeah.
Pray for me. Help me. Judge me.
Correct.
I'm not afraid to be judged. Judge me. I'm trying to make it to heaven. I think that's how all of us should approach everything. No one knows everything.
Yep.
Help me. This just goes right back to community.
Yep.
Community, guys. We should be a community. We should be helping each other. We should be the village.
Yep.
Let's be that. Let's do that. Stop stressing alone. Stop living in isolation.
Yep.
Welcome more opportunities to learn, to speak to others, to gain more knowledge. It's amazing. God has made our brains so amazing that we can take on so much knowledge.
Yep.
Do it. Let's just do it.
I agree.
I love it.
I'm all for it. Because we're ever learning. We're always learning. We're always figuring something else out. It's a journey to grow and learn in the garden and spiritually. It is. Like, some of my greatest revelations of God have come from the garden. Like,
me too.
When I started growing our apple tree, I began to really realize the process of pruning. And what the purpose of pruning was, and how the Lord talked about being the vine and the branch, and how I went into really studying about grapevines, because I want to be able to, I want to grow grapes one day. That's another goal of mine. I would love to have a grapevine, because they actually do really well here in our part of Texas.
And you can grow olive trees here too. They just have to be a variety here. I just learned that. He doesn't like olives, but I just thought that was cool that you can grow an olive tree.
If I grew an olive tree, it'd be just for the wood, because I think it'd be cool to make build something out of olive wood.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
But I'm always learning, and it's so amazing how God reveals Himself through His creation, through His everything around us, the plants, the animals, everything that is here. God is showing forth who He is through all that, and it's beautiful when you really see that, and you realize that, man, if you have one good apple and then a bad apple sitting next to it, how that one bad apple will totally destroy the good apple. And how it's important to make sure that we're choosing our community right and choosing the people that we have right. Easy in Texas.
Yes, we've been to Fredericksburg, and they have so many peach trees, and they also have vineyards.
Yeah, we live
like great places.
We live maybe an hour from a city called Grapevine.
Yeah, we do.
And they're known for their grapevines.
Although we don't go over there often.
We don't.
Yeah,
it's just, yeah.
My Aussie Gardening Kitchen is an awesome channel. He's on here right now. His he used to be a chef. He still is a chef. You know what I'm saying? But so if you're looking for ways to cook, like things to cook, join his channel. Oh my word, my mouth I'll like drooling over his videos. So check out the channels that are commenting right now and look to see what kind of content they are. Subscribe, help them out. It doesn't cost anything to subscribe. So, somebody has their car up really loud, their radio.
And
Daisy was like, "What is going on over there?" we still kind of live in the city, so you get country with a little city twang. So I mean, sometimes it's just what it is.
I'm trying to post some of the links down low for the one that she's been mentioning. I try to do that periodically, but sometimes I just forget to. So please forgive us. We're new to this whole live streaming thing.
Yeah, we are.
So the one I just posted, that's for Prep for Eternity. The one before that is for my Aussie Garden. Again, amazing guy.
Good food.
Amazing. I've watched a lot of his pizzas, and it's made me want it. So I'm like, man, I'll tell you what.
If their food channels get the views. That's who doesn't love food?
You make yourself hungry. But yeah, 30 minutes from Greenville. We're not too far from Greenville ourselves. I think we're about 30 minutes from Greenville, where we are. So we're not too far from there.
No, we're not too far.
And you're welcome, Daz. I know you would do the same. We definitely appreciate everyone that, has got on here and gets on here and supports us. We're really trying to grow this, and it's not for us. We're trying to help other people when we do this.
We didn't at all ever think that anything would happen like this, that our page would be, I don't know, that we'd have all these friends on YouTube. Never in my life have I thought of it. We actually started our channel trying to just record our progress. If you look at my first video, you would be like, what in the world? Look at that. And like, I was just like, look, guys, I'm going to change it. Because this was really for family. I wanted to record our progress and then show my family like what. And it helped me too. It was a motivating thing.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, this is the beginning and we are going to progress from here. And then it became having a super awesome community. We're almost at 1,000 subscribers. Yep. It's exciting. It's just so exciting. I never in a million years would have thought it'd be like this.
And also, rain harvesting, that was honestly one of my first things too, when we got our garden going. I don't know where I got it from. I just was like, man, I started watching stuff and it popped up. So I made it a pretty big priority to get that going. I found you squash vine borers. That's like our top video, by the way.
He laughs at me because, okay, so that video is because the reason why we made that video...
Daz, thank you so much for coming by, buddy.
The reason why we made that video is because I couldn't find one. I could not find a video on that, so I was like, let's just make a video on this. And then it became one of, our top videos. So I was like, this is awesome. I was like, I need to because anytime I'm, searching for a video that I need and I can't find one, I'm like, when we get this together, we need to make a video because people are struggling and they can't find a video on this.
Yeah.
It's so funny.
Yeah, it's hilarious. I laugh so hard because we got so many views on that one video, and I'm like, man, that video is just I felt like that video is what put us on the map. I was like, man, we're actually doing something.
Our spaghetti squash video, that thing is 15,000 views. I was like...
No need to apologize, Daz. We completely understand,
hard to believe.
man. Thank you so much.
Isn't it great?
Bugs keep eating my cabbages. Yeah.
Oh, man. Okay, so I can't grow zucchini to save my life because of these bugs, the vine borers. So what we're going to do, and what my friend Kiana is doing, we're going to put a mesh, like a mesh little thing over our squash plant. Because zucchini, they don't vine. So they just stay as a bush. So I'm going to try to have him make something just something simple, a wooden cube type thing with mesh on it so that I can put that over my zucchini so I don't get borers. And I'm going to make sure I check the soil, because if you don't know, borers will lay their eggs sometimes in the soil too. Their nests and everything in the soil. So they'll come up from the soil and they'll get your plants and have your lay eggs and all that stuff. So make sure no, it's not too bad. Okay. So I'm just going to be very, very vigilant with my zucchini this year. I'm going to at least try to plant a few. I am covering them. I am not kidding. So this is super dark.
Well, that's why I asked.
Well, I thought you said you messed me up some, but...
I asked, is the video too bad without that? Because I'll put it back on if so. I just wanted to get a quick charge. I think my phone.
Well, I guess it's not too bad. Is this super dark? Is it making it a bad video?
If so, let us know, because I can get that light back on.
Yeah.
I just would need to know. Not trying to mess it up.
Oh, pumpkins. So, okay, so advice for do you trellis your pumpkins? You probably do. Advice on trellising plants and vine borers. What I usually do is I go to plants that I know that I want, but I have to trellis down and I can't trellis them. I just bury some of the vines and they root down. So if a squash borer got half of my plant and I see that it's, because you can see the little dust. Right where I see the dust is ending, I will bury those stems, each joint or wherever there's a node, and they will drop roots. So that's where the energy is coming from, is those roots. So if one side of the plant dies off, the other side of the plant will continue to go. So I've learned that little trick, and it's helped so much. It's helped so much with the plants that I don't necessarily trellis. I kind of let sprawl on the ground, because I do let some sprawl on the ground. Yeah. I did butternut squash on the ground last year. I did spaghetti squash on the ground the year before that. You just bury the vines.
Yeah,
They're awesome.
it's very important. She's tried to get me to create systems to cover our plants. It's just hard, especially with vining plants because it gets so big. So I've tried to do things or think of ways, but man, it's just hard when they're vining all over the place.
Man, it is hard. Those bugs, I just don't know how they just discover us. Like, they're just like, they know where the squash plants are.
Yep.
They just know.
And it doesn't take long at all. It's like they discover it and then boom, all of a sudden your plant's getting torn up and you're like wondering what in the world is going on.
Like, before I planted squash, I had no idea what a squash borer was. Never seen that bug in my life. And then they just came out of nowhere, and I'm like,
Sticky bandages used for athletes are cast wrapped around the base of the stalk and no. What was it? And no.
borers got our plants last year. Awesome. That's smart.
Wow, that is smart. I
didn't think about that.
Wow.
And I suppose you really don't have to worry about, well, you wouldn't have to worry too much about bees as long as the sticky bandages aren't like yellow.
We said at the stalk, right? At the bottom of it?
Yeah, so you wouldn't have to worry about the bees because the bees are attracted to the flowers. So as long as those bandages aren't yellow, I suppose we wouldn't have to worry about that.
Yeah.
That makes sense. That's awesome. What's this face? Cool technique. I really need to start writing notes while we have these live streams because it's so annoying, but like after the live stream ends, we lose all of the comments.
I think someone told us how to save them. I just forgot. There was an option that you can select on here, something about like live replay or something, and it saves the comments.
I don't know. But we're going to have to do that. Because I get so frustrated. I'm like, why'd I lose the comments? There was so much good information in there.
Yeah, so I mean, it's definitely a lot.
What time is it?
It's, I don't know. We've
probably,
been on here for like 80
we're probably
minutes.
going to have to get off.
Yeah, I think we're going to cut it. Thank y'all so much for stopping by and being a part of this.
I can barely do email. That's me. That is me. I'm like, what in the world? And my friends will be like, you're on YouTube. How do you not know anything? I was like, I really don't know. I don't know.
I'm only tech savvy in areas that I need to be tech savvy in.
I
So
know.
if I need to figure something out, I'll study it and I'll figure it out and I'll do it. But if it's of no benefit to me, then I have no idea.
Like, I see all these YouTubers have these cool links on their bio. They're like, my Facebook, my YouTube, or my Instagram, and all this stuff. I don't know how to do any of that.
We'll expand as it. Oh, that's pretty cool.
The wrap only sticks to... Oh, very cool.
Nice.
Very cool.
Um,
Okay, guys.
so, yeah.
So we love you. We thank you so much for watching. Thank you for supporting us. Thank you for liking the video.
Yep.
Thank you for sharing our videos. Y'all are awesome.
Y'all
we really are thankful. We are blessed, and just overall, this whole experience has been such a blessing to us. We've gained so much knowledge from you guys, and we're all still learning. And I hope you guys keep us updated when you guys get all your rabbits and do all the things that you want to do. Stay encouraged.
Yep.
Even when you fail at certain things or things don't work out right, be encouraged. Try again. Try again. Don't be afraid to rip out a plant if you have to rip out a plant.
Yep.
I've ripped out lots of plants. I've killed lots of plants. And just it's all a learning experience.
Yep. Experience is the best
All of
learner, and failure is one of the greatest learners as
Right.
well. Because if you fail and you keep going, then you will be doing great. You fail, you try again. You fail, you try something else. And that's how we grow. That's how we all begin to do these things. So thank y'all so much for stopping by and being here with us. Hopefully we can do this every week. We're trying to get into the routine of that. It's hard sometimes for us to dive into this and get in here.
Thankfully, our children are older now.
Yeah.
Well, most of the children that are in the house are older now. So it's easier for us to kind of step away a little bit. It's a blessing. It's awesome.
Yep.
So thank y'all for watching. We love you guys.
God bless.